Hi there. Today I'm going to demonstrate using Trifacta data wrangling to prepare weblog data for ClickStream analysis. ClickStream is the idea of analyzing how users interact with a website or click to improve efficiencies and user experience. Specific outputs of ClickStream are path analysis. What paths do users take through the website? Market basket. For companies selling products, do users fill their shopping cart and then ultimately buy those products? Site optimizations. Are there broken links or other problems with the website? And marketing conversions. The campaigns that are developed, do they actually lead to the desired outcomes? ClickStream starts with analyzing raw weblog data. Inside each record, there is a timestamp for when the user was on the site, the actual URL that they were interacting with, often a session ID that can be used to overall group interactions by a single user, and the page name within the website. So let's get started wrangling. So just to show you what we're up against, here's a sample of a raw weblog. There's some structure to these files as they're produced by common web servers, but there's also a lot of variability in the data. And you can see there's quite a bit of data that comes in from every web server. Our goal is to structure, format, and enrich this data so that ClickStream will be much more efficient in its analysis. I've loaded a sample of the weblog data into Trifacta to begin the wrangling process. What I notice right away is that the first column looks like an IP address, however there's some inconsistencies in that format. Looks like some commas have crept in from some extract. I'll select one of the commas, highlight the replace suggestion and pick the second option. And I'll go ahead and modify this so that I can replace my comma with a decimal. I know something about this extract, and I realize the second column is an actual timestamp, but it's in Unix time format. What I can do is build a wrangle script to change that second sense epoch format into a more readable date time. To continue cleaning up the data set, I notice I've got a couple of columns that indicate what HTTP method was called and also the response code. For example, perhaps I only want to analyze the get methods within the data. What I can do is highlight from the histogram those values that are not get and actually delete those from the data set. The response code also provides interesting information. Notice that Trifacta has identified this column as a response code, an HTTP status code, and so I can go ahead and look at inconsistencies there. For example, some of these response codes are not accurate. Another column in my data set appears to contain a lot of information about the source browser that the user was using to browse my site. Be interesting to know who's using what browser, and so I'm going to go ahead and parse this data. By selecting on the client identifier in the data, Trifacta will go ahead and extract that data for me. Next, I notice I've got a column that indicates what page the user was accessing in my website. What I think I'll do is use the aggregation feature within Trifacta to provide some statistics on who's hitting which pages. I'll go into aggregate, and by simply selecting the page field and adding a sum of the count of hits, I immediately get this aggregated value, which I can add to my script. As one last step, and a very interesting one in terms of ClickStream analysis, I'm going to use the timestamp field and also this column 4, which is a session ID indicating the user's activities. I'm going to use the windowing feature within Trifacta to build a data set that can be used to analyze how long folks stay on my website. I've pre-built this wrangle, which gives me a count, or actually a grouping, of records that fall within a certain time period. In this case, 45 minutes. So now I can tell which users are staying on the website for a long period of time and which are not. So you've seen today how I can use Trifacta's data wrangling to develop high-quality data sets for advanced analytics. So from prep to analyze in just minutes. For more, visit trifacta.com/wrangling.